I realized something about myself when it came to marketing my tech startup. For some context, I was building a tech startup back when I was in high school, from junior up until the end of senior year. And as I was building my tech startup, the beginning was totally amazing. Throughout building the tech startup, I was working with a group of people, and the original idea stemmed from me wanting to find other people to collaborate with on a project that I was building. At the beginning, it was January, and in January, I noticed that I was really interested in web development, but I never really took the time to actually get into it. And so as a result of that, I kind of started doing web development and kind of started learning how to code and how to make websites because I just found it fun. And as I got better and better at it, I realized I wanted to do something big. And as a result of that, in March of that year, let's say 2024 or 2023, March of that year, I decided that I wanted to build Nexus. Now, Nexus was the original name of my platform that I was building for my tech startup. And the original idea was to build a platform for courses where developers can make courses, and from those courses, you can build projects. And the gap I noticed was that I noticed the gap between courses and a community. And I wanted to combine those because I realized that I wanted a community where I could learn, but also a community where I can have other people to talk to if I need help with something. And so that's what I noticed, right? Udemy doesn't have that, Coursera doesn't have that, and there's that disconnect. So that's what I created. And as it was going, I brought on one other person on my team. And the way I actually got that to happen was through a message that I sent in a Discord server, in one of my Discord server, and I said, hey, I need help with design. Can anyone help me out? So I sent that in the server, and this guy reached out to me. He said, hey, you should really learn how to do design, but I can help you if you want. And that is how I met my lead designer, and now we are very good friends. But moving on, fast forward to April, May of that same year, the team expanded to 5 people because he knew people, and so he brought some people onto the team. Now, in May of that year, someone on our team, one of the developers, said he has an idea and he wanted to bring it up. So we moved from courses, and his idea was build a platform where people can actually collaborate on projects instead of actually courses. And not gonna lie, that was a very good idea. And I found a way to relate to that because while I was building my tech startup, Nexus, I found that it was very hard for me to find people to work with, right? And so building this platform where people can actually collaborate, right? Now, when I describe it to people, I call it a Tinder for developers. And so this was just a platform, and it was going great. I was working until 3 a.m. some nights, even though I had school the next day, and it was crazy. I was on that entrepreneur grind, and everything was going great up until the end of senior year. It was May, senior year 2025, and actually let's say April. So towards the end of April up until May, during that time it was AP season. And if anyone knows what AP season is, it's where you take it's an advanced placement test, right? For those who are not familiar with it, advanced placement test, and it's for your AP classes. You take those, and you have the potential to get credits that you can bring over to college. So during that time, I wasn't really able to focus on my tech startup because I wanted to do well in my APs and I wanted to study for them. And during that time as well, we were also trying to launch the product and release it to the public, but you can see what happened there, right? I wasn't able to follow myself into marketing and into actually promoting the product and actually working on the launch. And one thing led to another, and it spiraled and collapsed. Now, what I learned through that was that marketing is very important. Even from the very beginning, day one, I should have been documenting the process of how I actually built my tech startup. Documenting the whole process of going to these founder-led events, going to these tech startup events, how I actually brought people onto my team, and just thinking about it now and everything that I've learned is truly amazing, right? And I truly do believe that that was not a failed experience. I think some people, they have lots of regrets from their past, and they're like, oh, maybe if I marketed this better, then the tech startup will be much better. But I believe that not marketing back then has taught me that marketing now is very important, right? And it's also just opened up my eyes to so many new capabilities and new possibilities, and in that when you market, you have an advantage over everyone else that doesn't. Like, for example, if you have a clothing brand, you can have the best designs and have the best clothes and everything, but if you don't market it right, then you won't, first of all, you won't even get your target audience, and second of all, no one will know about your product, right? And this goes for everything else. This goes for your social media accounts, this goes for your tech products, this goes for shoes, this goes for freaking underwear, right? Like this goes for anything. If you don't market, then no one will know about your product, and as a result, it's gonna fail. Another thing that I learned is that I folded under pressure. I've noticed that I really love building things, but once it comes to actually marketing, selling, the kind of like, not the final step, but the final step of actually making it more serious, making your product more serious, I found out in myself that that's a part where I haven't found a way to integrate, and that's where most of my projects have failed. Now, as a result of that, I'm much more aware of myself now, that anytime that I am feeling that I want to quit something, I kind of try to stop myself in my tracks. I'm like, where is this feeling stemming from? Where is this coming from? Because there's so many small business owners and so many business owners can relate to what I'm saying in terms that they love building, right? We love building. We all love building. But then marketing has to be the same way. And sure, it may be boring. There may be boring parts about it. By looking at the analytics, looking at what gets views, what gets clicks, what gets sales, how do I tone my language in a way that actually helps other people find my product, etc., things like that. And so that's just one thing that we need to factor in when you're building a business, or really anything, is that there may be boring parts about your business, right? Not everything will be fun, not everything will give you that dopamine, but in the end, it will all be worth it. So this is kind of my 2 cents on building my tech startup, and I hope you found something useful out of this.